Greetings and welcome to another Patch Notes video here at Words About Games, a fortnightly video series that lets us host discussions and post opinion pieces about our various thoughts on games, gaming, and the industry. Today we're going to be talking about Apex Legends, more specifically about how Respawn Entertainment and EA's first foray into the world of Battle Royale proves that there's still plenty of life left in the genre, and we're far from hitting any sort of oversaturation point. I get the argument, I really do. Since PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite took the gaming world by storm, it really does feel like every developer in the games industry has announced or released a Battle Royale game. A cursory glance at Google and my own mushy recollections of the past 2 years shows me that there have been or will be a lot of games released in the genre. Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, Battlefield 5, The Culling 2, Radical Heights, Realm Royale, The Darwin Project, Fear the Wolves, Storm Divers, Battle Royale, Cuisine Royale, Fractured Lands, Islands of Nine, H1Z1, Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, Dying Light, Bad Blood, Rapture Rejects, Mavericks Proving Grounds, and probably a few more I've missed, never heard of, or have completely forgotten about, or all already available or currently in development. It's a big list for sure. There were also far more first-person shooters, RPGs, fighting games, and probably a few other genres in 2018. It's just more noticeable because Battle Royale games are the in thing right now, or with Fortnite being perhaps the most popular video game on the planet. Some of these games have been a cynical attempt to hang on the coattails of the genre's popularity, and some haven't even survived this far. But there have been plenty of Battle Royale games that have genuinely attempted to innovate and bring their own unique twists to the still malleable formula. The genre's popularity started with PUBG's slow-paced, simulation-like gameplay, where long stretches of nothing happening were punctuated by brief, intense firefights, unless you decided to drop in the school, in which case the game resembled a Royal Rumble. All of these games share a few commonalities that are inherent to the genre. Large groups of players drop onto a huge map, scavenge for weapons and supplies, and are slowly shepherded together by an exponentially decreasing circle, or collapse, or ring, or storm, or whatever else they decide to call it. And they fight to be the last person standing and winning against the odds. Since then, Fortnite brought a more arcadey feel and building mechanics. The Darwin Project put a focus on melee combat, a more erratic, collapsing battlefield, and a director who can aid or hinder combatants. Black Ops 4 upped the pace, added PvE elements, and a wide array of gears and perks that can radically alter your playstyle. Battle Royale attempts to fuse MOBA gameplay elements with the more traditional mechanics of the Battle Royale formula. Sure, there are copycats, like The Culling 2, but there always are and there always will be when any game reaches such a massive level of popularity. When the news that Respawn were working on a Titanfall spin-off Battle Royale game broke, my timeline was filled with the same arguments I see everywhere when it comes to the announcement of any new game in the genre. It's a quick cash grab. It's another Battle Royale game. There are too many Battle Royales. They're all the same anyway. Everyone's sick of Battle Royales. The game will be dead on arrival. LOL Fortnite clone. The list goes on. I do get it. It feels like we can't turn around without finding out someone else is throwing their hat into the Battle Royale ring. I run a weekly gaming news podcast, and it sometimes does feel like we're constantly talking about one developer or another announcing their particular take on Battle Royales. Anytime something explodes in popularity, it can feel like that's all anyone's talking about, especially if that thing isn't for you. So how does Apex Legends specifically prove that we're far from reaching any sort of Battle Royale fatigue? I could take the lazy path to this answer and point out that the game reached 10 million players within its first 72 hours. After all, that's a milestone that it took Fortnite, a game pretty much everyone and their dog has played, 2 weeks to hit. But I'm not going to take the easy argument. Instead, I'm going to talk about pinging. There are a lot of things Apex Legends does that feel like huge moves forward for the Battle Royale genre. Taking the idea of character-based heroes from a game like Overwatch is a tremendous move. Not only do these legends come with their own special abilities that can change the game, just ask my squad mates how valuable my last-minute use of Bloodhound's ultimate tracking ability was during our last win, but they also come with their own personalities. It's not just the abilities that make characters memorable, it's their actual characterizations, something that's made people care just as much about the characters of Overwatch as the mechanics of the game. But the pinging system is a game changer. Not just in terms of Apex Legends, or even the Battle Royale genre itself. The pinging system found in this game has the potential to completely revolutionize the entire field of competitive first-person shooters. And it might not even be contained to just the first-person shooter genre either. Any competitive shooter that relies on teamwork or team-based strategies that doesn't have some approximation of Apex Legends' pinging system is going to feel like it's missing something. As per a PC Gamer article on the subject, here's everything you can do with pings. You can ping the map. Separately, you can ping a position to say that you're headed there. You can agree with pings or disagree, or say, I can't do that. You can cancel a ping that's no longer relevant or accidental. You can mark an area you're watching. You can mark a place you've spotted an enemy. Separately, you can say that an enemy has recently been here, a key distinction. Wraith, who has a special ability that warns her when she's being aimed at, can press H to share this info with teammates. You can ping specific items within dead players' chests by hovering and clicking on them. You can then call dibs on pinged items, or hilariously, undibs an item if you've changed your mind. You can thank teammates after picking up an item they've dropped. I mean, all of this is incredibly useful information that can be shared with the push of a single button. Gone are the awkward attempts to guide teammates to useful gear you found, or trying to explain where an enemy is by using landmarks or the useful, if flawed, number compass found in Battle Royale games in general. And trust me, as someone who has played many games of Blackout and PUBG with Russ, who routinely calls out, "Over there," when telling me where an enemy is, it's a bloody godsend. But it goes further than that. It eliminates the need for voice chat altogether. There are dozens upon dozens of reasons to want to avoid a mic with strangers in competitive multiplayer games, especially in the incredibly toxic environments of first-person shooters. And most people don't. I myself steadfastly avoid talking to strangers on voice chat in multiplayer games thanks to my social anxiety, a topic for a future video. The pinging system allows me to be an effective team member without having to use my headset mic. Pinging is a massive step forward for accessibility and inclusion, which will go a long way towards keeping players invested in the game. Incredible when you think this is actually quite a relatively minor mechanic and something that could potentially revolutionize the entire multiplayer market. This helps make Apex Legends stand on its own, apart from Fortnite, PUBG, Blackout, and whatever else exists in the genre as its own thing with its own twists on the formula. And that's why we're not even close to reaching any sort of oversaturation of the Battle Royale genre. It still has the same basic mechanics of any Battle Royale game. If it didn't, it wouldn't really be one. But there's no different than any other genre of games. Mass Effect Andromeda, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Nier Automata, Divinity Original Sin 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Cosmic Star Heroine, Assassin's Creed Origins, Neo, Golf Story, Songbringer, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Persona 5 are all RPGs. But you'd hardly call them similar, or that they're contributing to the oversaturation of the RPG market, despite the fact that they all released in the same 12-month period back in 2017. They all brought their own twists and ideas to a popular genre. And that's what we're seeing in the Battle Royale space. A series of games that takes what makes a Battle Royale and builds on top of it with its own ideas and new mechanics. Apex Legends pushes the boundaries of the genre quite far, perhaps farther than most of its other genre stablemates. But I'm sure next year we'll be talking about the next big Battle Royale game that does something equally as revolutionary or game-changing. We're at the birth of a brand new genre of games, and it's really exciting, but it takes time for any new genre to start really innovating and breaking new ground. It happens in small steps rather than with massive sweeping changes, and I can't wait to see what the next step is. And I wrote the entirety of this video before the latest Nintendo Direct, which announced, among other things, Tetris 99, a game which has managed to reinvent Tetris as a battle royale, expertly fitting the Tetris mechanics into a game in which 99 players battle it out in a competitive Tetris match to see who'll be the last one standing. And, if nothing else, Apex Legends is the first Battle Royale game that Keith, who is notorious for avoiding almost any competitive first-person shooter, will actually play with us. So it's already a miraculous game in my books. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you've enjoyed it, please keep it here at Words About Games. We've got tons of content, including our weekly podcast, more impressions videos, patch notes, and our weekly indie game of the week. We also stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. And most importantly, have a great day.